The Forgotten Eagles just sent a loud message at training camp, and one of them might be forcing his way into the starting lineup. While stars rest and recover, hungry names are stepping into the spotlight. This isn't just another training camp update. This is the beginning of something special. And it might change how we see this Eagles team heading into week 1. Day 6 of training camp didn't belong to the stars, it belonged to the fighters. To the names we've barely talked about. To the players who've spent the offseason being doubted, dismissed, and overlooked. And one of them, a corner many had forgotten, just stole the show. Let's start with the defense. Goedert Campbell and Shunderake Powell, two young, hungry defenders, were flying all over the field. Campbell had a near pick that lit up the sideline. Powell's energy in run support drew loud praise from coaches. But it was Jelix Hunt who had his best day in an Eagles uniform. Tight coverage, clean footwork, and an interception during red zone drills? That's how you make a name for yourself. Yet the moment that really hit fans came earlier that morning when linebacker Nakobe Dean jogged onto the field. He wasn't just back, he was first, again. Despite still rehabbing a knee injury, Dean was the first player on the field for extra work, just like he's been the last few practices. And according to reports from inside camp, this was the most active he's looked all offseason. The way he was moving, cutting, accelerating, staying balanced, it felt like the Nakobe Dean we were promised when he was drafted. You could feel it, the urgency, the hunger, the pride. But let's not sugarcoat it. This is a contract year for Dean, and the heat around him is real. Young guns like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Goedert Campbell are making serious noise. Dean knows it, and you can tell he's fighting with everything he has to be ready by week 1. Will he make it in time? Honestly, it's still a race against the clock. But the way he's attacking rehab tells you everything you need to know about his mindset. Now on to safety Lewis Cine, a name that once carried first-round buzz. The good news? We finally got visual proof. Cine suited up in full Eagles gear, working on the field. But reality's been rough. So far, he's only gotten snaps with the third-team defense. No splash plays. No standout moments. The road to the 53-man roster? It's steep, and right now, Sin is fighting just to stay on it. Then there's wide receiver Aeneas Smith. Coaches are watching him closely because injuries have opened up reps, and Smith is getting real opportunities. He's been rotated in with the first and second team. And in one-on-one matchups, he's flashed. Quick feet, fast hands, good separation, especially against Cooper DeJean earlier this week. But one-on-ones aren't 11-on-11s, and that's where Smith's game still hasn't clicked. The consistency isn't there. The impact plays haven't shown up in team periods. That said, special teams is keeping his hopes alive. Smith has been taking punt return reps all week, and special teams coordinator Michael Clay says the young receiver is showing growth. Smith looks calmer, more confident, and more explosive than he did this spring. The truth? If Aeneas Smith is going to make this roster, it probably won't be as a wide receiver. It'll be as a return specialist. And the next few weeks will determine whether that window stays open or slams shut. Eagles fans, what do you think? Who's the forgotten name on this roster that could shock everyone and make the 53? Drop your answer in the comments and rate your confidence in Nakobe Dean being ready by week 1, scale of 1 to 10. Let's talk. Something's not right with Johnny Wilson. The Eagles drafted him with high hopes, dreaming of size, mismatch nightmares, and big playability. But right now, he's sliding down the depth chart. Fast. Once again, Wilson struggled at training camp. Another rough day, more dropped balls, more bad routes. And while it hurts to say it, he's getting outplayed by players who were never even guaranteed a roster spot. That's a bad sign, because if he doesn't show something, and soon, he could be gone before the season even starts. Cut. Just like that. And it hurts, man. I liked him at FSU. Big, physical, flashes of potential. But the NFL doesn't wait. The preseason games might be Wilson's last shot to prove he belongs. And it's not just the receiver room facing pressure. The injury report today was brutal. 6 players are now sidelined: Zach Bond, E.J. Jenkins, Terrace Marshall, Drew Makuba, Devonta Smith, and Nolan Smith. That's not a typo. 6. But there's a silver lining. Some of these injuries may not be serious. Let's start with Drew Makuba. The young safety didn't practice, but he wasn't just standing around either. He was moving, warming up with the DBs, stretching, running a little. That means the team is keeping him game ready. It's a good sign. It tells us they expect him back soon. Terrace Marshall? Now we know it's a knee injury. But here's the key: no brace, no crutches. That's big. When wideout Danny Gray went down earlier, he disappeared from practice and was cut days later. Marshall is still here, still walking, still active. That gives me hope. Still, this is the Eagles. And like every other NFL team during camp, they don't have to give us the full picture. No timelines. No guarantees. We're left watching every small detail, hoping for signs. But right now, Marshall and Makuba both look like they could be back sooner than we feared. But let's talk about something that really caught my eye: A.J. Dillon. He was listed as limited with a back issue. But guess what? He still hit the field. He looked smooth, sharp, not like someone who's hurting. The way he's moving, it's clear the Eagles see him as RB2. The depth behind Kenneth Gainwell is no joke, and Dillon's size and experience give him a clear edge. Bottom line, the Eagles are battling on all fronts right now. Training camp is intense, the injuries are frustrating, and roster spots are on the line. We're getting clarity. We're seeing who's stepping up, and who might be on their way out. But what do you think, Eagles fans? Is Johnny Wilson done? Can Makuba and Marshall make it back before week 1? Drop your thoughts in the comments and rate your confidence in this roster on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's hear it. The Eagles training camp just exploded with new surprises. A quiet running back is stealing the spotlight. A linebacker is playing like a wild animal. And a defensive tackle is starting to look like an all-pro. This isn't just practice anymore. It's a war for roster spots. And the underdogs are punching back hard. The Eagles' running back battle is heating up. Let's start in the backfield, and right now, one name is standing out: A.J. Dillon. Even though it's still early in camp, Dillon has clearly pulled ahead of rookie Will Shipley. He's been getting double the number of first-team carries. That's no small thing. It means the coaches already trust him more to work with the starters. If you ask me, Dillon is on track to start the preseason opener. He'll probably play a couple of early drives before the younger guys like Shipley take over. But don't think Shipley is out of the picture. He's still learning, still adjusting, and he's got time. The question is, how fast can he catch up? Because right now, Dillon is making it hard to ignore him. But here's the twist: 2 undrafted running backs are turning heads too. No one expected much from Montreal Johnson, but he's been electric. Multiple beat writers have named him their top UDFA undrafted free agent at camp so far. His speed is unreal, and he runs with confidence, like he belongs here. And then there's Derek Powell, who broke off a couple of long runs this morning against the third-team defense. He's quick, shifty, and has a real shot at making the practice squad if he keeps this up. That might not sound like a big deal, but making the practice squad can be a stepping stone to real NFL snaps. Right now, the Eagles' RB room is loaded with competition, and it's bringing out the best in these guys. Campbell is a beast unleashed. Then there's Jair Campbell, and he's playing like a man possessed. Today was possibly the most exciting day of camp so far, and Campbell was a huge reason why. For the first time, he lined up as an edge rusher during one-on-one drills, and he looked like a monster. He was flying across the field, making tackles even when he wasn't supposed to because the team was only wearing shells, no full pads. One of those hits? He lit up Ben Van Sumeren with a bone-rattling stop. It was loud, it was violent, and it showed just how strong and explosive Campbell can be. Unfortunately, Van Sumeren limped off after that hit. No official update yet, but fingers crossed he's okay. As for Campbell, this dude has everything you want in a linebacker. He's tall, fast, powerful, and fearless. He talks, he listens, he competes, and he hits. One teammate even said, "He's got it all." I can't wait to see what he becomes. He's turning heads, and if he keeps this up, he won't just be a future star, he'll be playing real snaps this year. Mondon's quiet rise. Another linebacker to keep an eye on? Smail Mondon. He's running with the second team defense right now, and while he might not be in the mix for a starting job just yet, he's starting to flash. He made several smart, aggressive plays in practice today, showing he's learning fast. Mondon himself said he's still getting used to NFL life. He came out of Georgia with a lot of potential, but he knows the league is different. You're a grown man now. Nobody holds your hand. You gotta learn fast and show up every day ready. That mindset matters. He's likely going to carve out a role on special teams first. But don't be surprised if he's making real defensive plays by midseason. The raw tools are all there. D-line making noise. Let's talk trenches, because the Eagles' defensive line isn't just holding their own, they're dominating. Jokes Hunt and Jordan Davis both got sacks during 11-on-11s today, and for Davis in particular, this camp has been a statement. We already know he can stop the run, that's not new. But if he can start stacking up sacks too, look out. Imagine this. Jordan Davis gets 5 sacks in 2025. That doesn't just help the defense, it makes him a very rich man. Defensive tackles who can rush the passer? They don't come cheap. This season could be his big leap. A battle in the secondary. And finally, let's move to the Eagles' secondary, because things are getting interesting. Adoree Jackson continues to run with the first-team defense. But Kelly Ringo isn't backing down. He's rotating in with the ones too, and had a day full of ups and downs. Ringo gave up some catches on crossing routes early, but bounced back with a clutch pass breakup in the back of the end zone against Johnny Wilson. He's learning on the job, but he's not backing down. This battle at cornerback could go deep into the preseason. Which of these players are you most excited about? A.J. Dillon leading the backfield, Jair Campbell dominating on defense, or Jordan Davis leveling up his game? Drop your thoughts in the comments and rate your confidence in the Eagles' defense this season from 1 to 10. Something big is happening at Eagles camp, and no one saw this coming. A forgotten name, a quiet fighter, is suddenly making plays that are impossible to ignore. His name is Eli Ricks. For most of last season, he was invisible. Just another young guy on the depth chart, waiting for a chance. But now, he's running with the first-team defense. And today, he made one of the biggest plays of training camp so far. Jalen Hurts dropped back to throw. Sack 1, Barkley ran his route, but the pass sailed high. And there was Eli Ricks, perfectly positioned, grabbing the interception like it was meant for him. That wasn't luck, that was skill, timing, and hunger. And let's not forget, Ricks wasn't just standing around. He's been earning more and more reps at slot corner. He's been showing out every day. One reporter even said Ricks has been covering wide receivers better than the wideouts are running their own routes. That's not just praise. That's a warning to the rest of the cornerback room. Right now, he's behind guys like Darnay Holmes and Darius Slay for outside snaps. But what happens if Ricks keeps rising? What if he picks off another pass in the next practice? Or has a dominant preseason game? Could he actually challenge Keely Ringo or Adoree Jackson for a starting job? This is the kind of camp story fans love. A forgotten rookie coming out of nowhere, finally confident, finally healthy, finally ready. And it's not just the media talking. Coaches are starting to notice. Teammates are showing respect. The energy is building. But let's take a breath. Yes, Ricks is earning first-team reps. At slot, he hasn't been tested outside yet, which is where his long arms and elite speed really shine. But it's early. If this breakout continues, defensive coordinator Vic Fangio may have no choice but to give him a real shot at the outside. Eli Ricks is no longer just fighting for a roster spot. He might be fighting for a starting job. Meanwhile, let's talk about the offense. Jalen Hurts and the first team unit had another slow day. Just 6 completions during a short 11 on 11 session. And yes, he threw that interception to Ricks. Not ideal. But before anyone hits the panic button, let's be clear. Devonta Smith hasn't practiced in 3 days. There's a brand new offensive coordinator. It's still early August. This is part of the process. Hurts had a hot start to camp, but his accuracy dipped a bit today. He sailed a key throw during a late-game simulation. Still, it's not all bad. He dropped a perfect corner route to tight end Dallas Goedert that reminded everyone why he's still one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL. And speaking of Goedert, even he had a rare drop today. The whole unit looked a little rusty. So now the question becomes, will Nick Sirianni break his usual routine and play some starters in preseason? Last year's team started slow. With so many new pieces, maybe getting live reps would help them hit the ground running in week 1. We'll see. Sirianni usually plays it safe with veterans. But if the offense keeps struggling in practice, that plan might need to change. The good news? This offense has too much talent to stay quiet for long. And Jalen Hurts isn't the kind of leader to let the unit stay down. He'll find a rhythm. They always do. Do you think Eli Ricks has what it takes to become a starter in 2025? And should Sirianni play the starters in preseason to avoid another slow start? The offense is struggling, and everybody sees it. But Dallas Goedert? He's not panicking, he's teaching. After another sluggish day at camp, the Eagles' veteran tight end stood tall in front of the media, not with excuses, but with honesty. Not frustration, but purpose. This isn't a meltdown. It's a reset. It's the little things, he said. Little things. Misheard plays. Wrong route depth, missed assignments. A hesitation here. A mistimed block there. On paper, it might look messy. On the field, it might feel out of rhythm. But inside that locker room, they know what's happening. This is how the great ones get better. Because when a team installs a new offensive coordinator, when your superstar receiver Devonta Smith is sidelined with back tightness, and your quarterback is adjusting to new concepts, struggles aren't a surprise. They're part of the process. This is why Dallas Goedert's voice matters. He's not just a Pro Bowl talent. He's a leader in the trenches. And he understands what fans outside the walls might not. Camp isn't about perfection, it's about progress. And he made it clear. The tape doesn't lie. When they sit down and watch film, they see the truth. Missed details. A wrong pre-snap call. A miscommunication on timing. It's not a crisis, it's correction. And every rep, every error, every frustrating incompletion is teaching them something. Every moment is preparing this unit to come out firing when it counts. They've been through this before. Last season started slow. But when it mattered, the Eagles' offense turned into a machine. And that's what Dallas wants to remind everyone. This isn't the finished product. This is the work in progress. The real tests come later. But for now, this group is getting sharper, hungrier, and more unified. So while critics might raise eyebrows at sloppy 11 on 11 sessions or missed throws, the ones inside the building aren't concerned, because they see what's coming. They believe in the system. They believe in each other. And the best part? They're not even close to their ceiling yet. If you're riding with the birds, drop a comment below. Do you trust the offense will bounce back in time for week 1? Let your voice be heard.